Siddharth, starting with you, all eyes after last night were going to be on what happens on Dalal Street today, with the Adani stock and, whether there's going to be any clarity on the road forward. What was the big takeaway for you from today, Siddharth?
Well, the big takeaway is that as far as the markets are concerned, a bottom for the Adani stocks hasn't been found, and no one can find it, no one can call it, and it's certainly not our intention to talk about the bottom. But what's a fact is that between 56% to 22% of market cap of the Adani pack, as it is called, Adani Total Gas, the highest loser at 56%, followed by the FPO entity, Adani Enterprises, just around 55%. And if we keep looking at this share fall, tomorrow you will have one more day of trade. But between the 24th of January to the 2nd of February, Shiv, these 10 days are actually, they basically a new era in some ways has started for the Adani Group. 10 days back, if you had asked me the same question, my answer would have been very different. Today, there are very few analysts who are venturing out in public to take a call. The big question, as we discussed last night, and I'll quickly frame that again for our viewers to comprehend, is for a fast-growing, mega sort of industrial conglomerate like Adani Group, this is a massive wake-up call with regard to future financing and the future growth rate that this company wants to enjoy. And, while Mr. Adani has stepped back, that's a corporate call. It's the board that has decided to do that. And there are two views on that, Shiv. Some people say it was obviously due to the 34-35% value erosion and the mark-to-market losses that this happened. There is another view that by stepping at this time, and I'm quoting somebody in the market who has asked me not to name him, he called it a master stroke. We'll have to see if eventually it proves to be either of the two.
Okay, so some are actually calling it a masterstroke. I did in fact see quite a few, comments calling this move, bold and prudent and things like that. Abha, Gautam Adani came out with a video statement as well today after that notification to the, to the stock exchanges yesterday, as well as a press release that came out. Has Mr. Adani added anything more, to what we already know, or was it, just one of those things? The boss needed to put out that message and reach out to investors, in person.
I hear you, Shiv, and I think largely he was trying to reassure the investor community, also come out himself, right, and save face, so to say. But, what was more interesting was what he didn't say. I mean, he's still talking about how the company is, well intact, on the road to growth. There is no fundamental problem. He clearly said that in his video, but he still hasn't addressed the questions around the group's leverage. Now, today on the stock markets as well, and we've been hearing, of course, from various global banks are already pulling out. We've been hearing from a whole host of other brokerages about how the Indian banks, or specific Indian banks, LIC, etc., are leveraged towards Adani. And regardless of the quantum, even if it's only 0.6% of the Indian banking system, it's still a formidable amount. And that's the big question.